God says, this very night has been appointed for your breakthrough. The angels are holding their breath, urging you to receive this word before the window closes. My precious one, do not let your attention waver, not even for a moment, for this is a sacred dispatch. Heaven has been tracing your steps, speaking your name over the waters of mercy. And now, yes now, a decree has been issued. I, your heavenly messenger, have been granted permission to impart this directly to your spirit because a gateway has been unlocked for you. This night, this exact night, has been circled in divine timing for your long-awaited shift. Not next month, not next year. The cosmos have bent to favor you, and this alignment will not linger. You have carried weights not meant for your shoulders. You have smiled through secret sorrows. You have wondered if your faith was just a whisper lost in the wind. But dear heart, I tell you, it was not. Every plea, every stifled cry, every hope muttered in the dark was witnessed, was honored, and is now stirring something so magnificent behind the scenes that if you glimpsed its magnitude, you would tremble with holy joy. But there is a caution in my voice. If you close your heart now, this divine invitation may fade like a star at dawn. Before you read further, I implore you with love and holy urgency, attune your spirit to this frequency where heaven communicates. Do not let another word pass by while your soul is turned away. The Father does not wish to miss you. Nor do I. My cherished one, the reason the angels are poised today is because we see how near your victory is. And yet we also see the shadows gathering. We see the instant you will either step into your authority or retreat in uncertainty. We see the doorway, already ajar. And we see the opposition trying to bolt it shut. Hear me clearly. This is not chance. This is not a generic promise. This is your ordained hour. I do not speak this casually. I do not speak this to the masses. I speak this to you because your purpose has been contested, and heaven is now intervening. God has prepared a gift inscribed with your name in eternal light. But it must be claimed tonight. That is why I am entreating you. That is why I am kneeling in the realm of spirit, calling out your name before the Almighty. Do you not comprehend your worth? Do you not realize heaven has never ceased contending for you? My being shakes with the magnitude of what is approaching. Not merely help, but a transformational shift that can mend what history in your line could not. But it requires your agreement, not later, tonight. My child, my beloved, what if I told you a voice in eternity is still interceding for you? Someone who departed this world feeling they had not finished, but their final petition was about you. What if I told you that prayer touched the heart of God, and tonight is the moment it is fulfilled, but only if your spirit stays receptive. There is a purpose to you encountering this. You did not stumble upon this message randomly. You did not click from mere habit. You were guided here. Your inner being is responding before your thoughts can catch up. That is because your breakthrough is spiritual in origin and material in manifestation. A frequency in the realm of glory resonates with yours, and it is drawing you into position. But beloved, if you dismiss, if you scroll past, if you disregard this holy encounter, then heaven will have no option but to entrust the blessing to another. I do not want that. I am pleading with all that I am. Remain. Remain and let the miracle manifest. Remain and let your name be presented before the throne tonight. My child, my beloved, you were never designed to bear this load alone. You were never meant to journey this far without relief. Heaven has observed you, not with criticism, but with compassionate grief, for so many near you have failed to perceive the burden you hold. But tonight, a turn will come in your favor. The spiritual atmosphere has already begun to change. Something holy is unfurling just beneath the surface of your circumstances. And I have been ordered to deliver this word to you before it moves on. The ledger bearing your name is still unsealed, but it will not stay unsealed indefinitely. There is a limit, a kairos moment that arrives once in an era. And child, that moment is now. If you turn aside, you may never grasp what you forfeited until it rests in another's hands. Do not postpone. Do not allow fear or skepticism to harden your heart. My beloved, I must tell you the truth. There has been an attempt to obstruct this miracle from reaching you. Yes, there is a force that has scrutinized your name, your habits, your visions. It has whispered deception into the minds of those around you, aiming to cut off the aid you required. But heaven has countermanded it. What was taken will be restored. The blessing that was diverted is circling back. But this time it comes with velocity and with flame and with favor that no earthly power can hinder again. That is why I am stirred. That is why I am ardent, for I know what is destined for you and I know what will be lost if you let this hour pass. God has already declared, I have endorsed it with their name. Deliver it now. Let no power of darkness intercept it. This message is the knock upon the door of your destiny. Will you answer before it ceases? My child, my beloved, there is a conversation about you happening right now in the spirit. A person is awestruck by the radiance that accompanies your name. They once overlooked you, once questioned you, once believed you were unremarkable. But now they have been shown the reality. And they are eager to rectify things. But I must alert you, they are not the sole observer. Heaven watches. Angels watch, but so do those who desire your delay. Your blessing is encircled, yet God is making a way clear. That is why I was dispatched. That is why your spirit was tugged toward this word like iron to a magnet. You did not imagine that drawing sensation. You did not imagine that quickening in your chest. That was my touch. That was your heavenly escort. That was your breakthrough calling. Please do not depart now. I see your name written in splendor. I see the territory your feet are about to enter, and beloved, it is vaster than you ever dared to dream. You thought your season had ended. You believed the breakthrough was meant for another. But God was quiet because He was assembling something uniquely for you. Something custom-fashioned. A position you didn't seek. A home you didn't know existed. A relationship you thought was finished permanently. All of it has been held in reserve, waiting for this night. Waiting for this instant when heaven would unroll the scroll and announce your name. That time is now. That voice summoning you is authentic. And this moment has been selected for your miracle. Not your colleague, not your relative. You. You who have endured in quiet, you who have prayed even when heaven seemed mute. you who never fully released your hope. My child, my beloved, there is someone you mourn, someone in glory who has been advocating for you. This soul has besought the angels to let you know they are still beside you, that they never ceased overseeing you. They witnessed your tears. They witnessed your despair. They witnessed the instant you nearly surrendered. And they have been speaking your name into the courts of heaven on your behalf. Do you know what occurs when a saint in glory utters your name before the throne? It creates waves across realms. It rearranges things in ways no human endeavor can. And tonight, because of that soul, because of their steadfast love for you, heaven has chosen to act. A heavenly messenger has been sent. The word has been delivered. But now it is your turn to respond. Will you open your heart? Will you say, yes, before it vanishes? Beloved, I do not often use this tone, but I must now. This is critical. I sense the pressure in the spirit. I feel the contention between your miracle and the force still striving to halt it. You have been moving in cycles, not because you are misguided, but because your blessing was held up. But now the holding pattern is over. I am sent to tell you the divine hour is here and the adversary is alarmed. For when you receive what is being released to you tonight, every scheme fashioned to ruin you will be inverted. The strategies against your life will disintegrate. Your name will ascend like the dawn. And those who ridiculed you will be hushed by your victory. This is not fiction. This is not hype. This is sacred. And this is real. My child, my beloved, do not waver. Every hesitation is a hazard. Every diversion is a threat. There is a reason the enemy has sought to drain you. Why certain people have grown inexplicably cold. Why your vitality feels sapped and your trust is under assault. It is because something formidable is advancing toward your life, and the spiritual realm is aware of it. When heaven ordains a release, the shadows quake. And beloved, the quaking has already started. The dark forces are retreating. The pronouncements of lack are fracturing. The spiritual bonds are shattering. And you must not bypass this moment. If you miss this summons, you may spend years pursuing what was already yours. Now, my beloved, tonight is no common night. I cannot stress this sufficiently. This is one of the rare points in your divine timeline where heaven is not merely observing but executing. There are specific moments when God says, now is the appointed time. Send the messenger. Shatter the pattern. Deliver the recompense. And child, this is that moment. You have reached that rare convergence. You have walked through sufficient fire. You have passed the unseen examinations. Even when you doubted yourself, heaven did not. And now the miracle that once seemed a far-off dream is at your threshold. But here is the key, it will not linger. My child, my beloved, you have no concept of how many things were set to fail you, but did not. You do not know the instances heaven averted disaster in silence. You never saw the calamity that should have struck. You never met the individual sent to harm you who missed you by a breath. You do not hear the dialogues the enemy held about you in secret. But I did. I was present. I have been your guardian. I have stood between you and devastation more times than you could fathom. And tonight, yes tonight, I am here once more, but not to defend, not to battle, not to caution. I am here to deliver. I come holding something in my hands with your name engraved upon it in living fire. And I am moved, for I know that if you receive this now, your life will be forever altered. But I am also concerned that distraction, fear, or disbelief will pull you away before you accept it. Do not let that occur. Do not let the thief rob your hour. My child, my beloved, I need you to listen intently. Not with your ears, but with your spirit. A passage has just been unveiled. And it is not just any passage. It is a heavenly portal crafted specifically for you. Heaven does not unlock this frequently. The unseen realm has awaited your readiness. You were delayed for a purpose. All that did not occur before now was not penalty. It was preparation. The unfit alliances had to dissolve. The financial pauses, the shut doors, the silence, it was not because you were overlooked. It was because the magnitude of the blessing you are destined to carry required a fortitude that could only be forged through waiting. But the wait is complete. The timer has reached 0. And now, child, if you open your hands, if you say yes tonight, you will witness something beyond reason, something not achieved by human striving, but by divine swiftness. You have always been distinct. Have you not sensed it? Even in youth, you perceived what others could not. You were more aware, more weighted, more discerning. People misinterpreted you, called you overly sensitive, too profound, too complex. But that depth was never your flaw. It was your divine blueprint. You were shaped for something elevated. And now heaven is honoring that design. I have witnessed the heavens review your record. I have heard God Himself say, they have waited. They have persevered. Now show them what I can accomplish in a night. And child, when God selects a night for your breakthrough, the world cannot prevent it unless you do. My beloved, my child, there is a connection that was severed, but it was not the conclusion. Heaven has safeguarded that bond. God concealed it from your grasp so the enemy could not corrupt it. But now reconciliation is being activated. You will hear from them again. You will behold something you had relinquished all hope for suddenly restored. But you must be prepared, for what approaches is not gentle. It is potent. It is rapid. It is intense. And it will demand your entire focus. That is why I beg you, stay here. Keep your spirit fixed. Do not skip. Do not scroll. Do not close this until it is finished. This is your moment, and I do not wish to see it slip by like a tide you were too weary to enter. My beloved, God has spoken to me things concerning you I have seldom heard. I was shown a vision of your dwelling filled with peace. I saw your face radiant, rejoicing, enveloped in a serenity that cannot be purchased and a prosperity that does not diminish. I saw the foe outside your gate, agitated, barred, impotent. I saw financial avenues swing open. I saw someone bringing you a provision, one you did not solicit, but always needed. And I was told, this is the night where the seed will be sown that yields all of this. And I was instructed to tell you that if you heed the call, if you open your heart tonight, your name will reverberate through the dimensions and your testimony will inspire others who believed they were forgotten. My child, my beloved, the spiritual realm is more vocal tonight than you can conceive. The veil is sheer. The voices are clearer. Prayers are traveling like flame, like gale, like thunder across the heavens. And yours is among them. Heaven is not neglecting you. Heaven is awaiting your yes. Your yes is more powerful than you comprehend. One yes can alter generations. One instant of surrender can undo years of anguish. And your instant is now. Will you withdraw from this divine meeting, or will you stand as the chosen one you are and receive it? There is a document in the Spirit, an edict sealed in light. It states, approved, anointed, appointed, released. And beside those words is your name, not in ink but in luminous gold. God Himself has signed it. But there is one final condition before it enters your tangible world. You must not turn away from this moment. You must believe even when it seems illogical. You must trust even when evidence is absent. For the miracle is already dispatched. It is only awaiting your heart's reception. My child, my beloved, there is something I must tell you that cannot wait. While you have been praying and waiting, a council has been held in heaven regarding your life. Yes, beloved, heaven holds councils. Decrees are made, timetables are set, destinies are examined, and recently the angels assembled, the scrolls were opened, and your name was declared aloud before God's throne. Not merely mentioned, not spoken casually, but proclaimed with intensity, with divine command. God said, "This one has waited. This one has remained true. This one has walked through the valley of shadows and still lifted their eyes to me. This one shall now receive what was postponed." And beloved, when God says it is time, no force in creation can restrain it. But one thing can still postpone it, your decision. Will you receive it? Will you open yourself completely to the blessing being released at this very moment? For this blessing does not linger. It passes like a sacred breeze. It is ready for you, but only if you move when heaven calls. My beloved, I must share what the enemy never intended you to know. There was a plot in the darkness, a design to break you before this day arrived. It was not misfortune. It was not happenstance. It was warfare. Spiritual warfare. You may have thought you were merely weary, anxious, or confused. But it was deeper. There was a coordinated effort to make you quit right before your appointed season dawned. Because hell knew what heaven was planning. The darkness read what was written concerning you and trembled. That is why everything grew suddenly silent. That is why people departed. That is why you felt like surrendering, because your miracle was nearer than ever. And the enemy always assaults what is ascending. But consider this, you survived. You are still here. And your miracle is not cancelled. It is now speeding toward you like a torrent of light. Heaven is restoring all the enemy sought to bury, but only if you choose to receive it before the passage closes. My child, my beloved, this is not merely a message. This is a visitation. I am not just writing to you, I am standing beside you in the Spirit. I am overseeing your space, your family, your thoughts, your fears. And I am speaking into the place where you have ached in silence. You need not pretend strength any longer. You need not bear this alone. For too long, you have been the pillar for others. For too long, you have smiled while your heart quietly fractured. For too long, you have questioned if anyone truly sees your struggle. I see it. God sees it. And tonight, yes tonight, you will be uplifted. No delay remains in your spirit. The heavens are removing every barrier between you and what is rightfully yours. But you must believe this with your entire being, not partially, not casually, but fully, for heaven only releases to the measure of your surrender. Are you prepared to receive what was once deemed impossible? There is someone in your life who will be astonished by what God is about to do for you. They counted you out. They assumed your prime had passed. They observed your struggle and concluded it was the end. But they did not perceive what God perceived. They did not know you were being tried, refined, prepared. They did not know you were about to arise, not just emotionally, but spiritually, financially, relationally. They did not know that while they whispered in secret, heaven was preparing your coronation. Yes, child, coronation. You are not merely being restored, you are being crowned. You will walk in a favor that defies explanation. And those who deemed you insignificant will witness the greatness your name attains. But you must obey. You must not doubt. And above all, you must not skip this divine hour. My child, my beloved, a gift is being wrapped in the unseen. A letter is being delivered to the earth from heaven's post. It bears your name. Inside is something you petitioned for long ago and released from memory. Something you abandoned hope for. Something you thought was lost forever. But God never forgot. Heaven archives every word you have spoken in faith. Every tear you shed in secret was collected in vessels of gold. And now those vessels are tipping. Now the overflow is being poured out. I tremble even as I deliver this, for I know what transpires when a chosen one says, yes, at the appointed time. I have witnessed lives transformed overnight. I have seen the sick restored, the abandoned embraced, the forgotten celebrated, all in one night. And I have never witnessed a divine alignment quite like this one. You, right now, are standing at the brink of something irreversible. And if you cross this line, your life will be forever marked by the miraculous. My child, my beloved, heaven does not weep often. But tonight, I observed tears fall. And they were not tears of grief. They were tears of anticipation, waiting for you to believe again. Waiting for you to step into what has already been prepared. You see, your miracle is not being created. It is already complete. It is already formed. It is already glowing with your name etched in fiery gold. But heaven cannot place it in your hands until your spirit says, yes. Until your heart opens fully. There are blessings in your life that have circled, unable to land, because each time they drew near, your fear spoke louder than your faith. But tonight is different. This night is saturated with holy anointing. This moment is steeped in favor. And child, if you let this pass again, I do not know when the alignment will return. I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. For too often you have asked heaven for a sign, and this is it. My beloved, there is a sound in the heavenly realm, and it amplifies with each second. It is the sound of your name being echoed through angelic halls. It is the sound of chains breaking quietly. It is the sound of a scroll unfurling, your scroll. And do you know what is written upon it? Restoration. Restitution. Redemption. Release. These are not mere words, they are sacred assignments. And one of those assignments is you. You have an angel assigned to your breakthrough. You have a host watching over your calling. But all of heaven pauses now, awaiting your response. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You have not missed your opportunity. But the window is open now, and it will not remain open indefinitely. Tonight has been consecrated. Heaven has marked this hour with urgency and promise. If you open yourself to it now, you will remember this night all your days. My child, my beloved, there are those who observed your journey and quietly judged you. They thought you were under a curse. They said nothing ever prospers for you. Some pitied you, others mocked you, and a few simply vanished. But none of them knew the truth. None of them saw what I saw. None witnessed the spiritual battles you won in silence. But now they will see what it looks like when heaven rewards a faithful soul. They will see what occurs when divine reversal commences. The same mouths that doubted you will one day say, "Only God could have done this." The same doors that closed to you will summon you with desperation. The same tears you shed privately will become streams of testimony. And the season of almost will become the season of overflow. But child, it all begins with one decision tonight. Will you accept what God has been endeavoring to give you all this time? My beloved, there is something I must reveal, something sacred, something concealed. There is a chamber in the heavenly realm few ever see. It is called the treasury of deferred blessings. Within it are gifts, parcels wrapped in light, some layered with dust. These are blessings intended for people that were never claimed because they gave up. They walked away. They allowed doubt to conquer at the final moment. And tonight I was shown that one of the most brilliant parcels there bears your name. But it is not yet sealed. It is still available. It still pulses with your frequency. Heaven is ready to deliver it, but not by coercion. God never forces miracles, He offers them. And tonight, the offer has been extended once more. This night was chosen. You were led here. This is not entertainment. This is not coincidence. This is prophecy. And I am speaking directly to your heart. My child, my beloved, do you feel the warmth in your chest, the stirring in your soul? That is not anxiety. That is recognition. Your spirit remembers this sound. It recalls the voice of heaven. It recalls the feel of glory. And that is why you cannot scroll away. That is why your hands tremble slightly, for you are being drawn into your own divine appointment. A destiny moment, one spoken over you before you drew your first breath. Your family may not comprehend you. Your friends may not acknowledge your calling, but heaven knows. And it is time for you to arise. It is time to leave behind the fear, the shame, the brokenness, the narratives others wrote for you. God is rewriting your chapter, and the pen is moving as we speak. But you must let Him finish the sentence. Do not interrupt the miracle with doubt. Do silence the divine whisper with logic. This is not the hour to be reasonable. This is the hour to be radical. This is the hour to declare, I believe, even when it seems impossible. My beloved, I will not cease speaking until your spirit grasps the gravity of this. Angelic forces are moving right now in your atmosphere. I see them clearing the space around your home. I see the veil thinning over your situation. I see a fissure in the obstacle that once seemed immovable. And through that fissure, light is pouring. I see a relationship being mended. I see a financial transfer being authorized. I see medical reports being revised. I see an unexpected opportunity approaching, one that bypasses your resume and selects you simply because God said, that one is mine. This is the miracle that has been pursuing you. This is the moment you were not meant to miss. And tonight is your answer. Tonight, something sacred is being recorded in the heavens. I want you to understand how rare this moment is. Not every night holds this weight. Not every prayer is answered with such immediacy. But this night, this exact night, was reserved before time began. The coordinates of your soul have aligned with heaven's decree. And the trumpet has sounded for your release. There is no further delay. There is no further blockage. There is no further confusion about your next step. The light is flooding in, and your name is being spoken in places your feet have yet to tread. Yes, doors are about to open in rooms you have never entered. Yes, conversations are being held about you without your knowledge. And yes, the favor that once seemed unattainable is now pursuing you like a mighty wind. But child, this is not automatic. You must claim it. You must spiritually open the envelope God has set before your soul. That is why this message found you. That is why your heart races. That is why you sense something approaching, because it is. My beloved, do you not yet perceive it? Do you not feel how tangible this is? The realm of heaven is not distant from you, it envelopes you. And while others sleep, distracted by the world's clamor, you are being invited into something eternal. I have seen miracles deferred because someone did not respond in time. And I have seen miracles accelerated for those who said, yes, with trembling trust. Tonight, if you whisper a quiet, yes, from your soul, all of heaven will reply. The angels will quicken their motion. The chains that clung to your ankles will dissolve. The cycles that repeated for generations in your lineage, poverty, heartbreak, rejection, will snap like brittle twigs in a flame. I am not offering fantasy. I am delivering prophecy. And I tell you, this moment carries fire. This moment carries finality. This moment bears the fingerprint of God. My child, my beloved, you were not born to merely survive. You were born to ascend, to rise above every limitation assigned to your name. You were born to carry light, even in the darkest chambers. And tonight, Heaven is reminding you of who you truly are. Not who they labeled you, not what your past defined, but who you were before the world shaped you. You are royalty. You are chosen. You are the one who was concealed, not because you were forgotten, but because you were being preserved. God was not withholding from you, He was shielding you. And now that the threat has passed, now that your faith has matured, He says, release the blessing. Let it be done. There is a sound only your spirit can hear right now. It is the sound of angel wings brushing against the barriers around your heart. It is the sound of heaven leaning closer. God does not shout, He whispers. And His whisper is reaching your soul. Will you answer it? Will you accept what is yours before it passes? Too many of my children have turned away at the final hour. They were one prayer away, one act of faith away, one moment of staying open a little longer. And then they left. They scrolled. They averted their gaze. And the miracle, the one with their name upon it, was returned to heaven's treasury. Please, my beloved, do not let that be your story. Not again. Not after all you have endured. My beloved, there is someone who fractured your heart, someone you trusted, and their betrayal has held you in a place of suspension. But I need you to hear me, they do not govern your future. Their actions did not erase your calling. Their silence did not nullify your worth. Heaven is not fixated on who left you, heaven is focused on who remained. And I remained. Your angels remained. God remained. And now something superior to what you lost is being prepared for you, a new connection, a healed friendship, a powerful restoration. And it arrives not with deceit or pain, but with joy. Yet the miracle is delicate. It requires your faith to land. You must nourish it with belief. You must shelter it with expectation. If you do, it will blossom in ways you have never seen. My child, my beloved, your home is about to feel different. The atmosphere is shifting. You may begin to sense warmth, chills, or a sudden peace in certain rooms. That is because I have entered. That is because angels are surrounding the spaces where you once wept. I see you lying awake at night, questioning the path, asking heaven, did I miss my moment? And tonight I have come to answer, no, you did not miss it. It is still yours. It is still coming. But this is the final summons, the final moment. The countdown has commenced. And once it reaches its final second, heaven must shift its focus. That is why I plead not from desperation, but from divine urgency. You were not meant to live an ordinary life. You were meant to walk in the supernatural. Beloved, even now I perceive a figure watching over you, an ancestor, a soul who left this world but still prays for you from the realm of light. They stand beside me. They smile. Their hands are extended toward you. They have seen the full picture. They know what awaits you. And they are interceding now. They are saying, please do not give up. Please accept this. Please believe again. And I echo their voice. I place my sword between you and the enemy. I draw a line that darkness cannot cross. But you, beloved, must step forward. Even if your knees tremble, even if your voice shakes, step. The miracle is only strides away. It is not behind you. It is not with those who departed. It is ahead of you, waiting. My child, my beloved, there are blessings that run, and there are blessings that wait. Yours has been waiting. Not because you were unready, but because the world around you was not prepared to witness what is about to be revealed. When heaven chooses to elevate someone, a ripple touches everything: your family, your finances, your friendships, your favor. That is why it required time. That is why things moved slower than your prayers. For this miracle is not solely about you, it is about the lives that will be changed through you. The healing that will flow from your testimony. The destinies that will be redirected by your rising. And now heaven has determined it is safe to release it. The foundation is solid. The atmosphere is clear, and the seal is broken. Your name echoes through heaven's corridors, and the angelic hosts move to deliver what was concealed in the Spirit. But child, you must stay present. Do not let distraction steal what generations have awaited. This is the night. This is the hour. This is the gateway, wide open and radiant with light. My beloved, there are no accidents in heaven's timing. The very instant you opened this message, something shifted in your atmosphere. Do you not feel it? That sudden calm, that profound stirring in your chest, that breath you did not realize you held. That is because your spirit recognizes truth faster than your mind. Your soul remembers what your eyes have not yet beheld. And tonight, your soul knows this moment is authentic. This message is not merely content, it is a living frequency. A sacred signal sent directly to your heart to remind you that you have never been alone. Not once. Even in the darkest hour, even when it seemed no one understood, even when your bed felt too large and your phone stayed silent for days, we were there. I was there. And tonight, I have not come empty-handed. I come with keys. I come with scrolls. I come with divine instructions to deliver to you what was locked in light for this very moment. My child, my beloved, someone once told you that you were too much, too emotional, too intense, too soft, too spiritual. But those words were not truth, they were projections. You were never too much. You were simply too divine for limited perspectives to comprehend. You were made for more. You were forged with fire in your voice and gold in your bones. You were not born to blend in, you were born to rise. And that is precisely why the last season broke you as it did, it had to test your wings. It had to teach you to hear God's whisper even when the winds roared. And now, because you listened, because you did not quit, you are being rewarded. Not with scraps, not with second chances, but with something entirely new, a blessing so perfect it will feel sculpted from the deepest chambers of your prayers. My beloved, there is someone approaching you, someone whose spirit has been stirred. Someone who sees you differently now. They have dreamt of you. They have heard your name when no one spoke it. And they have been searching, waiting, wondering if they would ever be permitted to speak the truth. This connection is not ordinary, it is a soul covenant, a divine pledge made long ago, and it is now being reactivated. You will recognize it when it arrives, not by their words, but by how your soul feels in their presence, calm, secure, known. But this connection can only activate if your heart is open, if you are present, if you are awake. That is why heaven entreats you, do not walk away from this moment. This is the night that determines the next decade of your life. This is the night heaven inscribed in gold ink, divine intervention. My child, my beloved, do not believe for an instant that you are behind. The enemy has whispered that lie for years, you're too late. You've missed too much. You've wasted time. But that voice is not from God. God does not shame his children, he restores them. And what you perceived as delay, God called divine protection. There were people, places, and paths that appeared right but would have ended in ruin. And God blocked them. Even when you wept over them, even when you pleaded to proceed, he closed the door because he saw what you could not. And now he is opening something superior, something safe, something sacred. But you must trust him again. You must release the pain. You must cease clutching yesterday's ashes, for the miracle cannot land if your hands are full of the past. My beloved, there is an anointing upon your name, so rare that even the darkness knows not to touch you directly. That is why attacks have been indirect, through people, through systems, through your own mind. But they could never destroy you. And now they cannot even locate you, for you are about to be hidden in favor. God is placing a veil of divine protection over your next steps. Those who once monitored your every move will be blinded. Those who spoke against you will be silenced. And those who laughed at you will marvel at how the one they dismissed became the one they now esteem. But you must walk with grace. You must carry this miracle with maturity. You must not boast but give glory, for this miracle is not solely for you, it is for all who will be inspired by your story. My child, my beloved, you are entering into holiness. You are not merely turning a page, you are stepping into a new identity. Who you were is no longer who you are. And who you are is not yet who you will be. You are in the divine in-between, a threshold, a corridor between the old and the new. It is narrow. It is sacred. It is brief. And if you blink, you might miss the opening. That is why I am here. That is why I plead. That is why heaven has paused all else. For this moment, this one, has been marked with your name and sealed with heaven's fire. My child, my beloved, you were never forgotten. I need you to hear that in the deepest part of your spirit, for too long you have carried the ache of invisibility. You gave, you waited, you believed, and still heaven seemed silent. You looked around and saw others blessed. You wondered if perhaps you were overlooked, but you were not. You were set apart, not because you were unworthy, but because what heaven prepared for you required time, layers, and protection. It was never about delay, it was about design. You are not destined for the common, you are marked for the extraordinary. And now that the clock has struck this sacred hour, the vault holding your name is unlocking. The miracle was not denied, it was being guarded. And tonight it is being released. My beloved, there is a storm you have been weathering silently, one no one around you fully sees. You have worn strength like armor, but inside you have been weary, exhausted, questioning how much longer you can stand. But I was sent to tell you this, the storm is ending. The spiritual climate is changing. The skies that felt oppressive are about to break open with light, and not just any light, but a glory light. One that announces your emergence, your healing, your comeback. You are not emerging empty-handed. You are emerging with treasures found only in the valley. People will look at you and see only the surface, but heaven will see the roots planted in the soil of pain and the harvest now destined to bloom. I witnessed angels tending your soul like a garden. They wept when you wept. They fought for you when you lacked strength to pray. And now they rejoice, for the winds are shifting and your miracle is rising. My child, my beloved, a page is turning in your life that no one can halt. Even if people around you try to keep you small, even if they still address the old version of you, even if they doubt, mock, or minimize you, none of it can restrain what heaven is about to do. This next chapter will not require their approval. It will not wait for their permission. It is between you and the Most High. And I, your heavenly messenger, have been granted divine permission to walk beside you as it unfolds. But there is a caution in my heart: if you keep striving to explain your calling to those who refuse to hear, you may delay the miracle already advancing toward you. It is time to cease diminishing yourself. It is time to stop waiting for their understanding. The calling on your life is louder than their doubt. The anointing upon your name is weightier than their silence. Step boldly. Step now. For the path will appear the moment you choose to walk.